Hello everyone and welcome to our I Pick My Butt video, more Survivor.io and Chapter 76. This was a lot of fun. I actually enjoyed this one. We did have some new stuff inside here. Now I will say, this was going to be a pretty long video, the full 20 minutes. I had spent the time recorded for about 30 minutes talking over this thing. We have a new setup. I got this little table that slides underneath the couch that I'm sitting on where I can put my actual camera on a little tripod. Originally, I had the camera clipped right to the top of the MacBook, and this made it that whenever I talk, I tend to jiggle a little bit when I talk, but that would make the camera jiggle a little bit. So I said, you know what, let's go and get this thing kind of straightened out where we don't have a whole bunch of jiggling. And then the other thing I would do is I would hold the mic over here in my left hand, and I would just kind of hold it as I talked into it. That's why you might have seen me turn a little bit this way. Well, yesterday's video, I didn't realize it, but my laptop, my jiggling, was causing the laptop to smack into the mic. So you'd hear a doof, doof, doof. So now I got a little clamp over here on this thing. Got the mic sitting right next to me. So sounds good. Everything's perfect, good to go. But what I didn't realize is my computer slid down when I sat on the couch, and we put a little bend in this. This is a USB-C to USB-A converter, so I can go and hook up the mic. Well, it got a little bit bent, and where the mic was working at the beginning, it later dropped out, and here you go now. I'm re-recording once again. So on that note, this one is going to be a little bit shorter here than the original 20 minutes because my throat's getting a little bit sore. I need to eat something, and I still have to make another video for a sponsor. So things are a little bit stacked, but a lot of cool things in this chapter. I want to say first things first, that the first 5 minutes did seem to be a little bit more struggle than the rest of it, and I think a lot of that was me not having the Light Chaser emote up in time. Now we are at about 38,200 or so for attack, and for health we're sitting at about 150,000. I think that's pretty much perfect for this chapter. It seemed to be just right. I probably could have gone a little bit lighter on it, but it seemed like there was some points where it's like, okay, things are kind of close, but there wasn't anything that was really too much of a struggle besides going into the bosses. Now we do have a couple of new mobs out there, which there's kind of one that looks like obviously our broom guy. There is the guy with kind of the chemist goggle thing, but then there's these other guys that kind of have like a headphone on or something. I've been calling those guys the watermelon guys, and there's a reason behind it. You'll see later on in the video. I'll explain there. But check out this new elite out here, and this guy is going to disappear and reappear while we have the spinning phones around. And it's nothing too terrible to deal with, but obviously at the time where they're invincible, they're not going to take damage. So just don't get too close to the phones, people. That's as easy as that. Now, 15-minute board, bosses, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, elites, 2 minutes, 9 minutes, 11 minutes, 12 minutes, and 13 minutes. And as you saw, that was the 2-minute elite right there. We will also see that again at the 11-minute mark and the 13-minute mark. Now 5 minutes, we're going to be going in, it's going to be the head technician. Luckily, we dropped him pretty quick, so I didn't see any of the actual bots get thrown out on it. I believe that's this one where we're going to throw out kind of the robots that shoot the missiles at you, but dropped incredibly fast. This one should not be any real trouble for you. But when we finally step out of this 5-minute mark, we are going to get hit with some mobs right away. They're not going to come really rushing in too terribly, but they are pretty tanky. 5 minutes to 10 minutes, this is going to be a great time to farm up on the biofuel because they do drop a good amount of high power biofuel, the blues and the golds, what everybody really wants to see. So use this time wisely to just try to kill as many as you can. I would say if you are able to, try to get this Light Chaser evoed as quick as possible. We are going things like drones, drill, rocket, and we actually end up picking up the laser launcher later on just because it was the only option we had. But we are going HE fuel, high powered bullet. We are going the Exo Bracer at the very end just to evo up the Guardian because, you know me, Guardian, I think it's some sort of lifesaver inside the game. And then Energy Cube was the other one too. So you'll see things as they go along, but nothing really too different out of the ordinary. As I said, 38k attack. We are going in full Eternal gear. We are using the Stylish belt instead of the Eternal belt, so that's really the only difference because I like the shield. I'm not too crazy about the belts if you just saw the video from yesterday, ranking every S-grade piece of equipment. And tech parts, obviously, we're going lightning emitter, we're going drones, we're going drill, and then I think on the defensive side, it's going to be Guardian and Brick, and there could be one other one in there. I don't remember what it is, but it's not important. So at any rate, going in at the 9-minute mark here, it's going to be one of the broom elites that come out. And this one was a little bit longer to take down than the first one, but it's the 9-minute one. Does drop pretty quickly, I guess I should say. The big thing is when it does die, it is going to spawn a good amount of mobs underneath it, so just don't go running right into that chest. 10-minute mark, this is the cool one I was pretty excited about, the trainee pilot. You see, it's just like a floating mech type guy. What's that guy from Star Wars? Is it Boba Fett? Is that the one? Kind of reminds me of that a little bit, but you see some flames out there, you see the gun. There is going to be some bullet shots out where it'll shoot like 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's also going to be a spread, so just be aware of those. Those are probably the hardest to dodge in it. We are going to have this kind of fiery dash type thing. It doesn't leave a trail, but obviously there's fires on the jetpack. I don't know. I think this thing is pretty cool. I was pretty excited to see this. Like, okay, we got some new mobs, we got some new elites, and we got a new boss, so that was pretty cool to see. But mobs from this point on, they are kind of tanky. Not too bad, because I got the Light Chaser evolved. And as I said before, the 11-minute mark, that's where we're going to get the next elite. It's going to be the same exact one at the 2-minute mark there. Now, this one did take a lot longer to kind of drop down than the 2-minute mark because it is the 11-minute mark. But as I said, they're not bad. Just keep on working your way away from them. They're slow. The phone spin around is really the only thing. They will kind of expand out and then come back in. And obviously, they'll disappear. But I think we did drop them in maybe about like 20 seconds or so without really putting any direct hits on them. Yeah, we flipped around every now and then and let the rocket do a thing, but wasn't anything to stress about. 12-minute mark, that's going to be another one of those broom guys as we saw earlier. And once again, as we are getting towards the later portion, they are taking a little bit longer to kill. But there was no real animations that was like, hey, I got to run from this guy, or really, it wasn't like a hippo coming out and having to deal with that. And the 13-minute mark, once again, we'll get hit with another phone guy. So just, as I said, work your way away and you won't have anything to really worry about on it. But this is what I was talking, why I was calling the guys the watermelon guys, because I'm calling these guys the blue raspberries. For some reason, this kind of reminds me of like a raspberry ice cream, and there was obviously blue, purple, so pink and purple. I think ice cream, that's what they kind of sent me, so I'm referring to these guys as blue raspberry. I'm calling the other guys watermelon guys. That's where it comes from. No good reasoning behind it besides ice cream. But going into the 15-minute mark, this is going to be the Mutant Mayor, and I absolutely hate this guy. I did have somebody comment and saying that hiding out in the corner is an easy way to dodge these projectiles, but as you can see, I'm not doing too well to begin with. Luckily, I had all my lives here, and we just kind of kept on running. That's my technique against them. Move as much as I can, and I guess if I see those shots come out, maybe I should duck in the corner, but luckily, we dropped them in time. So this is pretty much what you have, guys. This shouldn't be anything too challenging if you beat 75. I think you have this one in the bag. Let me know your thoughts, though, with the new boss in the comments. Really curious to know what you guys think. And what do you think of the name Blue Raspberry? Let me know. Join the Discord if you haven't already. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and remember, I pick my butt.